March 22nd here in Southern Ontario, Canada. So I'm booking out of work early today. I just don't feel like doing this homework stuff. I'm not in the mood for it. But I want to share a story with you. My roommate Jono comes home last night. I've mentioned his views before. So he asked me what I found out at the bank. So I pulled out the contract and ran through what I think are the salient points with Jono. It's the same ones I posted in the video. He says, well, you know what I think it's about? And I said, no, I don't know what you think, Jono. Tell me. He says, well, I think it's just, it's more secure because, people steal checks. And I said, well, I don't think that there's a whole lot of theft going on with governmental checks. Be that the CAI that I received, that's the carbon assurance or something. Yeah, it's the rebate from the carbon tax, Canadian Action Incentive Rebate. That's the CIA. And so anyways, my curiosity, just to take a step back, I'm trying to find today when the government intends the host of checks the Canadian people might receive from the government, the CAI, the GST rebate, maybe employment insurance, should you be collecting that? And, whoa, there's a whole lot of others. In the last video I just posted, I didn't realize that the tax rebate had to be, or your tax refund had to be digital. I was not aware of that. Anyways, back to Jono and his stolen checks. And I said, well, I don't really think there's much of that going on with government checks. He said, oh, well, the crooks are always coming up with new ideas. I said, well, indeed they are. But I still don't think that this is the motivation for the government to want us all to go digital. I think it more runs back to the demons in Davos. You know what I mean, Jono? Oh, I don't know, he says. So I'll spare you the misery of the rest of the conversation. John thinks everything's going to work out okay. These demons and despots all come to a bad end, he says. He uses as example that little fellow in Germany who caused a world war. Oh, he fell in the end. They always do. I was like, yeah, well, so did a lot of good men, Jono, and women fell during the Second World War. To say the evil always loses is, well, anyways, I won't go any further down that path. If you're new to the channel, last August, I printed up these flyers. I'll just hold that up there. You can screenshot it if you want. I put out well over 1,000 of them into rural mailboxes, just in case you want to screenshot it, here rurally, from the seat of a 48 8N farm tractor. And something I noticed is this is representative and recognizable at a glance as a government, there's a government something in here, usually a check. They come in a couple of different kind of formats, but I mean, at a glance, this is whatever from the government. I think the ones with the checks have a bunch of stuff on the back. I'm not sure if every government check comes in such an envelope, but I know some of them do. So anyways, as I was doing the tractor tour, I opened over 1,000 mailboxes. And I'd say more than 1 in 10 that there was still mail in had one of these brown envelopes in it. Now, probably half, or at least a third of the mailboxes, it's obvious people don't clean the mail out of them daily. There's 2 or 3 days worth of mail in there. Sometimes there could be 2 or even 3 of these little brown envelopes in there. And Well, I didn't do a statistical count. A lot of brown envelopes in a lot of mailboxes is the bottom line. Excuse me. And I said to Jono, I said, well, if mailbox thievery was still a thing, I don't think there'd be so many brown envelopes lurking in these mailboxes. I mean, we have had problems with rural mail in years past when they sent your credit card out, be it new or freshly sent to you. They were authorized in advance. So lurking in the mailbox was a free card. And mailbox thievery rurally was a bit of a thing. But I don't think it is anymore. And my argument with Jono is I don't really think that this whole government digital thing is anything but an extension of the desires of the demons in Davos. So that was my point.